In this video, we're going to see how we can delete fields from a feature layer or a table in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. So open up the deletefields.py script from the fields folder. When we added fields to our feature layers and tables in the first video of this section, I added some fields that I know I want to delete. So in our trail viewpoints feature layer, I want to delete this not needed field. And for our tables in our viewpoint reviews, I have two fields here, delete 1 and delete 2, that I also want to delete as I have no use for them. Let's head to our Python script. Once more, we're going to use the feature layer manager, but this time we're going to use the delete from definition method. And this will allow us to delete fields from our feature layers and tables. First, access ArcGIS Online using our GIS class and supplying in the home string. We'll assign our GIS object to a variable called agol. We'll then use our GIS object and access the content manager get method and supply in our feature service item ID, which I'll paste in now from my notepad. The get method will return an item object that will assign to a variable called item. Let's print the screen the current field information for our trail viewpoints layer. We access our item object and the layers property. The layers property returns a list of feature layer objects. We're going to get the first feature layer object from that list and assign it to a variable called FL. Then access the properties property of our feature layer object and print the name, which will be our trail viewpoints layer. And we'll print the fields property, which will be a list that represent each field definition for our trail viewpoints layer. Let me run the script. We can see this last field here, which is our not needed field. I'm going to copy the definition and open up our first example. Here we are using our item object and the layers property to get our view. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's not view trail points, it's trail viewpoints. Anyway, we have our trail viewpoints layer as a feature layer object. We're going to create a list called delete fields, and that list will take a dictionary of any field that we want to delete from our feature layer. So we want to delete our not needed field and update the JSON false to a Python false and the same for true, and null becomes none and none. So this is the field definition that I want to delete from the feature layer. I'm going to create a variable called status, set that to equal our feature layer object, and we're accessing the feature layer manager object. I'm going to use the delete from definition method. We set our JSON dict parameter to be a dictionary, and we're accessing the fields property. Oops, accidentally pressed page down on my keyboard. Anyway, and we set our fields property to be our delete fields variable. We'll then print our feature layer name to screen along with the status. Just let me comment out printing our fields definition. When we run this script, our not needed field will be deleted from our trail viewpoints layer. I'm also going to delete a couple of fields from a table. So here we're accessing the item object tables property, which will return a list of table objects. And we're getting the second table from that list, which is our viewpoint reviews. I'm going to assign our table object to a variable called table. Now here I'm doing something slightly different. I am creating a variable called delete fields, but I'm using list comprehension. Here I'm saying for each field that's in our table object properties field property, if the field name is in delete 1 or delete 2, then return me a dictionary of that field. By using the dictionary object here for Python and supplying in our field, we are automatically converting that JSON dictionary to a Python dictionary. This list will store two fields for our viewpoint reviews that are the definition for our delete 1 and delete 2 fields. We then use the delete from definition method, supplying in our delete fields as our fields property. The two fields from our list will be deleted from the viewpoint reviews table. We'll print the table name to screen and status. So let me run this script. We will return success true for both our trail viewpoints and our viewpoint reviews, indicating that the 3 fields across the feature layer and table were deleted. Let's head back over to ArcGIS Online and check out the result. Here I'm in viewpoint reviews and we can see delete and remove. I'm going to go back to our trail viewpoints and we can see that not needed has been deleted. And if I go back to our viewpoint reviews, we can see that the 2 fields, delete 1 and 2, have also been deleted. So we've successfully used the ArcGIS API for Python to delete fields from a feature layer and a table in ArcGIS Online. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.